Senator Ben Downing, representing the western counties of Berkshire, Hampshire, and Franklin, has served in the Massachusetts Senate since 2006. This session, he's the chair of the Telecommunications, Utilities, and Energy Committee, making clean, green, renewable energy a priority. I'm Jenny Johnson. Senator Benjamin Downing joins me today in Suffolk University's downtown Boston studio. Senator, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me, Jenny.
So we hear so much about clean, green, renewable. What does it mean?
Well, I think when you really look at all of the issues, right now too much of our energy comes from fossil fuels, from fuels that pollute our environment, that are scarce, and at the same point that don't tend to come from places that we'd like to support. So when we're talking about clean energy, we're talking about producing energy, wind and solar, from sources that are abundant, that are here, and that we can produce and consume here that won't pollute the environment for years to come. So it's a win-win all around if we get our policy right.
And why is it particularly important for the future growth of Massachusetts?
It's incredibly important for Massachusetts because if you come from an area like mine in the Berkshires where people used to work at places like General Electric or Sprague Electric, a lot of those jobs are gone. Mm-hmm. And right now when you talk to employers, they need to know where their energy is going to come from, not just tomorrow, but for years and years. And they want it to come from sources that doesn't denigrate the beautiful environment that we all enjoy in Massachusetts, whether it's Pittsfield in the Berkshires or out on the Cape or here in Boston.
Okay, so your hometown is Pittsfield, and it's the solar capital of the Commonwealth. I did not know that. So are there energy issues in Western Massachusetts that are different here in Boston?
To some extent. We all have the same challenges when it comes to making our economy more energy efficient and at the same point transitioning from coal, oil, natural gas to wind and solar and other renewable sources. At the same time, the opportunities, say in a Boston or a Worcester, are going to be bigger around energy efficiency than they will be in Pittsfield or maybe some of the more rural communities that I represent. But at the same point, those rural communities can end up being energy suppliers to the more urban centers by developing clean energy wind farms and then transmitting that energy to the bigger urban centers. So I think there's a great opportunity and there's a big challenge that we all share and we all need to work together to address.
Okay, so we know that Western Massachusetts is really the most mountainous part of this state. So what does this have to do, and is there special interest with wind power?
Yeah, there absolutely is. There's a great opportunity for land-based wind both on the Cape and out in my neck of the woods in the Berkshires. And I think when I've talked to my constituents, so long as they know their concerns have been heard and they know that a rigorous process has been gone through when it comes to siting those projects, they're going to support them. That's why they've supported the Berkshire Wind Project in the town of Hancock. That's why they've supported the Hoosick Wind Project in the town of Florida. Projects that will more than triple the amount of wind energy that we have in the Commonwealth once they're online.
Speaking of support, the governor's been supporting biomass regulation. First of all, what is biomass and how are you involved with it and what are we going to see for the future?
So the governor has been a leader on all clean energy sources and he's really made Massachusetts a leader when it comes to clean energy and energy efficiency. When it comes to biomass in particular, we in Massachusetts have said there is a way to do it right, and if we're going to provide subsidies for biomass, and we're talking about wood or wood scraps from the forest floor or from the floor of other wood product industries, that we want to do it in a way that's smart and sustainable over the long term. And so his administration has put forward regulations that my committee is looking at, and we're going to make sure that we comment on those so that we can get biomass right. Again, so that we preserve and protect our state forests, but we also take advantage of what can be a renewable and clean source of energy.
Okay, so we hear green jobs all over the place. Where are we seeing green jobs and why are they so important? Well,
you're seeing green jobs in the installation of that solar capacity that you talked about in Pittsfield. So on a site where General Electric used to produce energy and too often polluted on that site, we now have solar panels installed. What was a brown field is now a bright field with nearly 2 megawatts of solar energy being generated right there. And I think when you talk about green jobs generally, you're talking about manufacturing clean energy and then servicing that clean energy.
Wonderful. Well, Senator, thanks so much for joining us today. I know there's so much more to talk about, but we appreciate you giving us some insight. And thank you for watching Comcast Newsmakers. I'm Jenny Johnson.